Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Today we have an interesting show lined up for you as we take a look at the proposed developments for Heroes Circle. And later, we tackle some financial issues. We have all this and more for you within the half hour, so stay tuned.
Violence against women and girls is a human problem, not just a woman's problem. It's a problem for men too. Gender violence takes many forms, including sexual assault, domestic violence, relationship abuse, sexual harassment, and sexual abuse of children. The magnitude of ongoing violence against women and children in our country is cause for alarm. We can end the violence. It requires all of us to end the violence. I call on all our men and women in Jamaica to take a stand. And men, especially, must get involved in this movement to create a better world for their daughters, their mothers, their sisters, their aunts, their uncles, their fathers, their sons, and for themselves. Let's protect and reassure. Let's unite to end gender violence.
Heroes Circle is the proposed location for the new parliamentary building. In a couple of years, that big open space will be undergoing several changes. Take a look.
Our vision is that Kingston must be like what London is to the United Kingdom. We want Kingston to be like what Singapore is to Asia. Kingston should be like what Paris is to France. Kingston must be like what South Africa is to the motherland. We want Kingston, Jamaica, to be the epicenter of the Caribbean region.
And that vision starts with the construction of a new Houses of Parliament complex, the anchoring structure for the proposed Government Oval. To be built within the 300 acres of land surrounding the National Heroes Park, the Oval will have 14 government ministries, agencies and departments, centrally located to the hub of business and the 7th largest natural harbour in the world. Since the advent of universal adult suffrage in 1944, Jamaicans have had a hand in choosing those who will represent their interests and direct the affairs of the state on their behalf. But long before this important marker in history, Jamaicans have been resolved on the need of a central location from which the affairs of the people are to be administered. Today, Gordon House on Duke Street is that seat of government. This two-story building became the official meeting place of the Jamaican government on Wednesday, October 26, 1960. Like other sites of the past, which were found unsuitable for one reason or another, Gordon House is now poised to make way for the march of progress and designation of a new meeting place for the people's representatives.
Gordon House was designed and built for meetings of the municipal council. So the fact is that Gordon House was always a temporary House of Parliament. Aside from the issue of insufficient space, lack of adequate parking, and facilities to interact and engage with the public, the building itself lacks the stature and functionality of a modern parliament.
So for decades, various governments have pondered and pursued plans for a new parliament building. Time and again, the consensus was clear. The legislative arm of government should be situated in the place where the nation's heroes are honored, a place where history has left its mark. Heroes Circle, as Jamaicans now know it to be, was once the Kingston Racecourse, the island's premier location for horse racing. The racecourse grounds also hosted cricket, cycling, traveling circuses, and many other entertainment-based events. Around since 1783, the property, previously named Montgomery Pen, was purchased in 1818 by the Kingston Council. It was on these grounds that former slaves celebrated full freedom in 1838, and decades later, Queen Victoria's Golden and Diamond Jubilees. The Jamaica National Exhibition of 1891 was also held on these grounds, at the site of what is now the Wolmer's School. Renamed the George VI Memorial Park in 1953, a war memorial was also erected to honor those who served in the First and Second World Wars. Then, in 1956, as the island was making the transition from British rule to full self-governance, the local authority passed the King George VI Memorial Park Act. This law was designed to wind up operations at the Kingston Racecourse, which would later, in 1973, be renamed in honor of those who played a heroic role in shaping our great nation.
This act primarily designated the Kingston Racecourse as an area of recreation, public gardens, entertainment, and so forth. It also designated that the minister had the authority to designate certain areas as the location for the new parliamentary building.
And I share that vision, that we should make Hero Circle the center, the government circle. We are announcing today the start of what we call Government Circle.
Making good on that announcement, a non-binding agreement was signed with China Construction America for the conceptualization and design of a model.
The idea is to use this project as the catalyst for the regeneration, revitalization of this great asset that we have, downtown Kingston.
The Urban Development Corporation is the leading development agency of the government of Jamaica, and we have been making development happen since 1968.
It is not surprising that when the government of Jamaica decided that it wanted to see Kingston come alive again, see to the redevelopment of Kingston, it turned to the UDC. And indeed, you would have seen some of the efforts bearing fruit already.
One of those is at the northern end of downtown, which would be in and around the National Heroes Park.
We are involved in the government overall project, which we are doing the study and the work for, which would cause the various important ministries of the government to be located in one geographic area for ease of business and so on.
At the very core of it is the establishment of new Houses of Parliament, new purpose-built Houses of Parliament. And in that regard, the UDC has launched and is running a national design competition.
It's a 9-month-long process. It started with the Prime Minister announcing the opening of the competition.
We've been guided by a bipartisan parliamentary steering committee, and we have had a wide selection of professionals serve on our jury.
We also have gotten a patron. This patron is Gordon Gill. He is the person who helps us to steer this competition where it should go and give us the international experience and expertise.
The first phase was open to all the registered Jamaican architects at home and abroad, so that we could open it to as much participation as possible.
Since then, we've had the jurors, we've had the competitors go through a rigorous routine of looking at the existing facilities at Gordon House, looking at the site at Heroes Circle, and also getting first-hand information from the parliamentarians as well as from the administrators of the parliament.
We received some 24 submissions. From those 24 submissions, the top 5 was selected by the jury.
This building will seek to bring the people of Jamaica and their elected representatives in a closer harmony and oneness of purpose by Jamaicans for Jamaicans.
I think the quality and standard of architecture that was submitted and selected is really at the highest level.
All the designs are very open, very transparent, allowing not just air and light to circulate.
Any of the five chosen, we would have a spectacular building which Jamaica will be proud of.
The 5 finalists will be working to improve their designs and to detail them, as well as to look at costings. And that will come to a close in January of 2019, when the jury will do its final sitting and review, and we will select the first, second, and third prize winners.
The standard is now set. The expectations have been kind of cast. I think the next steps and the future is really bright.
We expect certainly Parliament will be completed in the next 2 years. The government overall will take a little longer time because we have to do the feasibility work and the community consultation, all of which just started. And we expect that with the Parliament and the government overall, when completed, it will be an iconic setting.
Dear Mr. Prime Minister, what is going to happen to the people of my community, Almond Town?
I am 54 and I've been here from I was born, and my grandmother used to send here my mother and also me. So I really don't want to remove.
The government can't prepare so much job for the whole away. So why not develop out here, make we can look after our children?
I'm not talking about displacing the people who are there, because you know what? It is the people that brings the vibrancy to the area.
The UDC has plans to build 5,000 homes for various income bands and create 27 acres of green space.
I like the evolution of the space itself based on the basis of the act, but we must be mindful of the surrounding communities.
I'd love to see that there's some form of a recreational facility inside of the park for the residents, especially the children. And so, you know, first they can play the little football or the little netball, any form of activity there. As long as there's space for that, then I'm good with it.
The King George Act, which spoke to kind of the idea or the premise that a Parliament building could be in the park, but also that the park is for the people, I think that was captured in the 5 designs. You know, I don't think that there's one project that ignored the public importance of that park.
We hope to see the development take place in a manner where all residents are sensitized, we are engaged, we are involved and included in the process.
My concern is that they are not giving us much information on what's going on.
We have engaged the premier government agency, the Social Development Commission, to assist us in that regard, to meet the people in their communities, to talk to them, to explain what are our thoughts, to listen to them, and to be guided by some of their ideas.
It is not for the comfort of the parliamentarians. It is about making the Jamaican state more effective.
There are a lot of unemployed youths around the community and they won't work. Everyone needs money, so I guess it creates a chance for employment and better housing facilities, because you know some of the houses are not up to par up here.
The residents believe that if the Parliament building comes there, they can benefit from additional security. So the station here won't be short of police officers.
It's long in coming, you know. That Parliament down there, to me, that outdated. We want a state-of-the-art thing. So whoever go do it, they're moving a step in the right direction.
We're going to build this Parliament, and we're going to do it the right way. We're going to take all concerns on board. We're going to take all suggestions on board. It is going to be bipartisan, multi-sectoral, and it will be done in the best interest of all the peoples of Jamaica.
It's really going to change the way that people think about Jamaican architecture.
The excitement is already in the air.
Now just imagine in a few years, this space and the wider downtown area will be transformed into a vibrant, enviable, iconic destination. The Houses of Parliament will be the anchor stone for all of that. It will hold a central position in Kingston, the capital. We will have 14 government ministries and core agencies conveniently and efficiently located within the 300 acres of surrounding land. Can you imagine the efficiency of that when we purposely plan and build for an efficient government?
We want a productive Jamaica. We all are productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Your financial stability is very important, and today we'll be discussing financial inclusion. If you're wondering exactly what that is, take a look.
Hello and welcome to Finance Matters, a production of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. I'm your host, Daniel Pasley, and today on our program, we will be focusing on financial inclusion. And with me is a very special guest. She is a National Financial Inclusion Coordinator, Ms. Melanie Williams. Thank you so much, Melanie, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me, Daniel. It is my pleasure to be here.
Great. Now, we're going to be focusing on financial inclusion. And for some viewers, they may see it as something that's very complex. So break it down for us. What is financial inclusion?
Thank you for that question. So financial inclusion essentially is a suite of policies which are being implemented by government actors, government entities, in partnership with the private sector and with non-governmental organizations to improve access to credit, access to information, greater consumer protection mechanisms for ordinary Jamaican citizens and businesses, particularly our micro and small enterprises.
And why is it so important for the micro and small enterprises?
Well, if you examine the nature of what we call MSMEs, micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, their business needs are very different from some of the larger enterprises that exist in the marketplace. They have greater need of what you would call support in terms of capacity building, the need for help with developing business plans, for understanding how to use technology to facilitate the prompt and safe payment of any bills that they may have, or if they're making orders online, for example. They also need to be empowered in terms of how to actually put their products out there in the marketplace, how to form networks and partnerships. And that's where the role of the Financial Inclusion Steering Committee members becomes so relevant. For example, to highlight the work being done by the Development Bank of Jamaica through their programs, Ignite, their voucher program, their assistance, we expect to see an increase in terms of the credit flows to micro entrepreneurs as well as to small-sized enterprises.
So how can they access those services?
Excellent question. And I think your question points to the shift in thinking that we hope to achieve through this program for financial inclusion. First and foremost, it is important for every Jamaican to feel the essence of their own empowerment. And that's what financial inclusion is about. If one sees the Secretariat as being at the center of a network of partners, call the Secretariat, the Financial Inclusion Technical Secretariat.
What are those numbers?
Our number is 876-932-4145. And of course, we also have an email address, and that can be shared with you after. What you would do is then call us, contact us, and we will put you in contact with our colleagues or key stakeholders, if you will, along the network chain, so that you can then have a discussion with them, go directly to them, and have a consultation, if you will. Sit down, explain your business idea, your value proposition. What do you intend to bring to the consumer, your intended customer, and then develop your own strategy for having your business expand, so to speak.
I love that. So if they want to go to the Secretariat, where exactly is it?
The Financial Inclusion Technical Secretariat is located in Bank of Jamaica, and that is...
And for those who don't know, that is in central Kingston, downtown.
Right.
At the waterfront, all right?
Yes, never so place, exactly. Right, so come on in, and you would merely indicate at our protection desk right there that you wish to speak to members of the Technical Secretariat. They'll contact us, and we'll come down and meet you, and we'll have that discussion about how we can assist in terms of putting you in contact with our other partners along the network for financial inclusion.
Melanie, I love the idea of financial inclusion being an avenue for empowerment for all small and medium-sized entrepreneurs. And it is a testament of what financial inclusion will do to propel economic growth.
Indeed, indeed. And we would not have achieved what we have achieved had it not been for our partners. So both our partners in the ministries, such as the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, as well as the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, those three ministries have been instrumental in terms of formulating the policy positions as well as consulting with the public about their needs.
Thank you, Melanie, for coming on the program and sharing about financial inclusion. I really learned a lot, and I'm sure that you did also. So until next time, I'm Daniel Pasley, and we will be focusing on another side of financial inclusion, and that will include the pillars. So you want to stay tuned for our next episode. Have a great day.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
This past October, Jamaica observed Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and a number of activities were undertaken to raise awareness. Here are the highlights from the Cyber Safe Roadshow in Montego Bay.
All Jamaicans should use the internet and all of the other resources available online in a meaningful way.
It is with this notion that the government embarked on a series of activities to raise awareness about the dangers in cyberspace this past October, one of which was a Cyber Safe Roadshow in Montego Bay, St. James.
Ministry of Science and Technology. Hey, hey, ready, move here, how we say? Hey, what?
The international theme of Cybersecurity Awareness Month was Cybersecurity or Shared Responsibility, and the local public awareness campaign theme has been Think Before You Click. Representatives from the Cyber Incident Response Team, CERT, eLearning Jamaica Limited, Universal Service Fund, USF, and the Jamaica Constabulary Force were out on the town interacting with the residents. The day was filled with activities, prizes and surprises for everyone. But throughout the fun and games, the message was crystal clear.
Don't give away your password.
Not even to your friend. Not even your partner.
Which one are the password?
For your phone.
Phone alone?
For your computer.
So like how me want draw $1 5 grand and me really can go down to the machine. Me can just give me cousin,
no,
my
don't
cousin
give away your
niece,
pain.
my cousin
Don't
niece
give away
sister
your
Pitney,
pain.
they can't fear that.
No, don't do it.
Eh?
I know you trust them. I
Yeah.
know them is family.
Yes.
But you're putting yourself at risk.
Wow.
The issue isn't about giving others access to your online and bank accounts. It goes further to the simple things you do, such as clicking a download link on your computer or phone.
Before you click on a link that a friend or anyone has shared with you for a video or photos, think about it first. Take a look at that link. If it looks suspicious, do not click it. There is so much that we do online that we put ourselves at risk to be attacked, to have our data stolen. And the message that we are leaving is be conscious about what you do online. Do not overshare. Do not download applications that ask for personal information. Be present with what you're doing online. Use strong passwords and always be conscious of what you do.
The Universal Service Fund is a partner on the campaign. The USF has established several free public Wi-Fi areas across the island, but the agency wants residents to use them with caution.
The thing with public Wi-Fi is when you access the internet, it's like being in your home and opening your door to go outside and turning on your lights. You have no control over who is able to see into your house or who may be able to access your home unless you put the necessary safeguards in place. So it's all about, yes, using the internet, using public Wi-Fi, because of course it's amazing, especially when it's free. But we must always be cognizant of the risks associated and of course be safe whenever we go online.
Cybersecurity is not just an October thing, it's a continuous learning process for you to know how to protect yourself online. So the next time you go online or even before you download that link on your phone, make sure you think before you click.
Thanks for watching another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Do join us again tomorrow and we'll do this all over again. Send your feedback on today's show to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Also, you can follow us on our social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, there's Twitter. Download our app on your Apple and Android devices, and you can also visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for more information. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.